Hello YouTube, this is Let's Talk Horror and welcome back to another video. Okay guys, so today we have major breaking news. I had to jump on here and talk about Scream, as over the last couple of days we have gotten some news regarding Scream 7 with 3 past ghost faces returning. We will go over each of them. And simply put, Skeet Ulrich is returning in Scream 7 as Billy Loomis. Scott Foley is returning as Roman from Scream 3. And none other than Matthew Lillard is returning as Stu Macher from the original Scream. Probably the most popular answer for everyone's favorite Ghostface. This has been something the fans have speculated on for years. This has been something the fans have dreamed about, seeing Matthew Lillard return as Stu Macher, and the day has finally come. Now, I haven't talked about Scream in a while, and I haven't done that simply because the vibes around this franchise for years now have not been very good with the way Spyglass has gone about things. Even when you go back to the disrespect around Neve Campbell and how they handled everything there, to the whole Melissa Barrera, Jenna Ortega situation, the vibes around this franchise have been very chaotic, have been very toxic, have been very negative for quite a while now. And everything kind of just fell apart, so there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. I think the last video I did was talking about Kevin Williamson returning as director and Neve Campbell signing on for Scream 7. But yeah, you know, this script has apparently had to be rewritten multiple times, and they had to delay filming multiple times. And so the vibes just around this movie weren't that good. I honestly kind of felt like this was going to be a disaster, that this was going to be the first truly bad or awful Scream movie. I said I still don't think there's a truly bad or awful Scream movie in this franchise. I've enjoyed each one of them, genuinely enjoyed them in one way or another. You know, I often say when talking about Scream on this channel, when Scream 3 is the worst your franchise has to offer, you have a pretty good franchise. Just the way things have gone, it's definitely affected my optimism and affected my viewing of this franchise, just because the way things fell apart for this movie and this trilogy. But needless to say, now with this announcement, my excitement is back. At the very least, I'll be there day one just to see what is happening here. So let's go over all 3 Ghostface returns. First of all, the one that probably generates the least excitement is Skeet Ulrich as Billy. And simply because, you know, he was in Scream 5. He was in Scream 6. We kind of know what his role is going to be. You know, he was kind of the ghostly, haunting hallucination for Sam in Scream 5 and 6. He will probably play a similar role in this one as well. But we know Billy Loomis is dead. That's not on the table. That's been established. So, you know, Billy Loomis being alive is not on the table. So we know what type of role he's going to play. There's really not much else for him to do as the character of Billy Loomis. And so, yeah, Skeet Ulrich on the excitement level, I would have to imagine it probably ranks 3rd. Scott Foley as Roman probably ranks in a very distant 2nd for people, because Roman does have his fans. I've noticed that as I've interacted more with the Scream fandom online. Roman definitely seems to have his fans, and he is the only Ghostface that did it all by himself. He didn't have a partner or anything like that. No, he did it all by himself. So it'll be interesting to see him back. I enjoyed him in Scream 3. I don't love everything about that reveal, but yeah, I'm excited to see Scott Foley in that role again. But of course, it comes down to Matthew Lillard. As I said earlier in the video, this is the one fans have speculated about. This is the one fans have dreamed about, to see Matthew Lillard back in the role of Stu Macher. And yeah, he confirmed it on his Instagram page. I think it was the other day. You know, it was just a video of him writing, "My mom and dad are going to be so mad at me," which is one of Stu's famous lines, obviously.
Did you really call the police?
You with your sorry ass.
My mom and dad are going to be so mad.
So we do know he's returning as Stu Macher. Now, the question still is it an alive Stu Macher? Is Stu Macher actually alive? And I still have my doubts about that. I want Stu to be alive, but I still have my doubts about that simply because, and I saw this brought up in other places as well, if Scream 7 is going to finally reveal that Stu Macher is alive and is still one of the main villains in this place, would they reveal it this early? Would they have Matthew Lillard announce that a year before the movie is supposed to come out? That is something that you would want to save, at the very least, closer to release. And probably you don't want that revealed until people are seeing it in the theater. You wouldn't reveal that a full year before the movie is supposed to be released. At the very least, I think Spyglass and Kevin Williamson and everyone involved would have tried to keep that hidden better and longer than this. So that alone has me doubting that Stu Macher is alive, but it's possible. It's possible, as I've seen speculated, that he could show up in a flashback. It's possible that, he could play a very similar role that Skeet Ulrich has been playing with Billy Loomis and just kind of have this be this kind of ghostly, haunting hallucination. It could be something like that. And I think it's honestly more likely. I'm not trying to rain on anyone's parade. It's certainly possible that, he's playing in a live Stu Macher. But the more I think about it and the way they went about this, I'm kind of thinking it's more likely that it's going to be very similar to a, Billy Loomis like role in Scream 5 and 6. It's going to be this ghostly, haunting hallucination, which is fine with me. I think it'll just be really cool in general. And it would still just be so awesome to see Matthew Lillard in the role. But who knows? Maybe they'll surprise us. Maybe they'll surprise us again. Maybe we'll be sitting here in February of 2026. I think that's when the movie is supposed to be released. And we will be seeing that Stu Macher has been alive all these years. Wouldn't that be cool? But there's still a lot we don't know, guys. There's still a lot we don't know. It's just my excitement is through the roof. They did the one thing that I think would have gotten me and a lot of other horror fans excited, which is bring Matthew Lillard back. I'm really surprised they're doing it because didn't the whole thing with Spyglass and Neve Campbell back with Scream 6 when she didn't appear in that because they didn't want to pay her, didn't he come out, if I'm not mistaken, and pretty much accuse them of being sexist? I thought there was no way that he was going to come back to this franchise as long as Spyglass owns it, but they must have repaired the rift, and so that's always good to see, and it definitely gets me excited for what this has to offer. But yeah, I'm thinking like that. That is probably the most likely thing for me, is he's probably going to appear as a apparition or a hallucination for Sidney this time, but it would still be great to see him in that role. But I guess we will see. I'm sure he will do an interview and maybe he'll reveal more on what his role is. And then one final request for me, because I am one of the weirdos. Stu is actually not my favorite Ghostface. If we're bringing all these Ghostface back, can somebody pick up the phone and please call Emma Roberts? Can somebody pick up the phone? I loved her as Jill in Scream 4. If you have seen my ranking, it's still up on the channel. Scream 4 is my second favorite of the franchise, and Emma Roberts and Jill is my favorite Ghostface of the franchise. So if we're going to bring all these Ghostface back, we need to get Emma Roberts on the phone. She's hinted at in past interviews, guys, that she might be open to that. So I would love to see that. You might think it's too much, but that's my favorite Ghostface there. So that would just make this whole thing perfect for me. But that's going to do it for me today, guys. What do you think? What do you think Matthew Lillard's role is going to be? What form do you think Stu Macher is going to appear as in Scream 7? Let me know down in the comments, and I will see you guys later. Take care.